Norfolk Southern's varnish is on full display, and they've rolled out the red carpet. Coming up, we're going on a rare behind-the-scenes tour. We'll talk about what makes this train so special and what they use it for. Plus, a close-up look at these freshly painted locomotives. All that and more is next. The sun is beginning to set over Norfolk Southern's Forest Park Yard in Atlanta, Georgia. And the conditions are perfect to show off two of the railroad's freshly painted locomotives. Tonight, these two engines will lead a special dinner train through the city. It's November 13th, 2025, and guests are starting to arrive for Norfolk Southern's Tracks of Hope event, which is raising money for Hope Atlanta, a nonprofit supporting folks experiencing or at risk of homelessness. And while helping the community is the theme tonight, the star of the show, or at least something that's playing a major supporting role, is Norfolk Southern's Office Car Special.
We are railroaders, and we're really proud to show off our toys. You see them out there. They're beautiful, beautiful pieces of mechanical equipment.
But before the train leaves tonight, we're getting an inside look at this historic equipment and these modern locomotives, and this is stuff the general public rarely gets to see.
Welcome aboard. This is the NS-19 Kentucky. The car was built in 1949. This is the older of the two of our dining cars.
Now remember, this train has to be self-sufficient when it's out on the road. They've got a full kitchen and bring all the supplies they need. It looks like steak is on the menu tonight. Of course, there's a story behind each one of these cars. They've all worked for historic railroads. Many of the cars have small letters below their number indicating where they came from. The one we're on now, the Kentucky, is ex-Norfolk and Western. As you probably know, Norfolk Southern was formed from a merger between Norfolk and Western and the Southern Railway back in the early 1980s. However, not every car in this consist can trace its history back to the predecessors of Norfolk Southern.
So this is a former Santa Fe car we had purchased, built in 1954. It was renovated in the early 2000s, kind of brought up to speed. Obviously, this gives you a view like no other than maybe the Buena Vista or something like that for track inspections. It just gives you a perspective, especially with the routes that we travel. Beautiful areas like the Piedmont, the mountainous terrains coming down through. It's beautiful.
There's no doubt the railroad goes through some spectacular locations. I mean, imagine riding this train around the famous Horseshoe Curve in Pennsylvania, or going over the towering Wells Viaduct in Georgia. Okay, here's the lower level of this full dome car, which is named the Delaware.
So down here we have a small lounge area. I do believe back in the day, this is where you had your cigars and your scotch.
Now, you just heard our guide mention a car named the Buena Vista. Unfortunately, that car didn't make the trip down to Atlanta. It's still in Altoona, Pennsylvania, where the OCS is based. At the back of the Buena Vista, the car has theater-style seating facing a giant rear window. As you can see, that glass is covered in this shot. They usually do that when the train is deadheading somewhere. Okay, so what are trains like this used for?
It's a mix between inspections, so you go out for track inspections. You also get to have interaction, so you get your folks together, team building. It gives folks the opportunity to get in and rub elbows, touch base with what they may be observing going across the territories, as well as marketing or for our customers. In the event that maybe say we're going to haul some of their freight, we can go across the line so they can see the route in which it's being traveled. It lets you see the maintenance, the safety, be able to pinpoint something in specific. It's not something you pulled up on Google Earth. You get to see the elevations, you get to see the curves, it's just more hands-on.
For more than 100 years, railroad executives have been riding in private cars like these. Here's former Southern Railway President Graham Claytor in his private car, the Virginia, in 1969. And yeah, this car is still part of the fleet. Now, every year, the Norfolk Southern OCS makes a trip down to Augusta, Georgia for the Masters Golf Tournament. It's pretty impressive watching trains run down the middle of 6th Street. And that's where I caught the OCS in 2023. Back then, it was typically led by two SD60Es, locomotives unique to Norfolk Southern. But before those, the railroad used Electromotive Division F units, which dated back to the 1950s. Fellow railfan and photographer Stuart Lodge took these great photos of the F units in their classy Southern Railway-inspired tuxedo paint scheme. Of course, two much bigger EMD locomotives are now taking over, at least for this trip. Norfolk Southern designates these as SD70 IACs.
I'm impressed with our new locomotives we have at the head end there. I think we had a lot of people out checking them out. Hopefully we get some good feedback, and we got a nice Tuscan red transition that goes between them back into our cars. It definitely accents everything, I think.
There are landmark series. They're named after communities that we work in. The Atlanta, which is pulling us, it's his first trip. It's his first tour of duty, and we saved that for tonight so that we can always have hope whenever we come through Atlanta.
And yeah, according to Norfolk Southern, more custom painted units like the Atlanta and the Birmingham are on the way. They'll be used in revenue freight service and to haul the OCS. So what's the significance of these locomotives' names? Well, Atlanta was founded as a railroad terminus before the Civil War. Today, several lines and two Class I railroads converge here. And in 2021, Norfolk Southern opened its new headquarters in Atlanta. The city is also home to the company's massive Inman Yard. And south of town, future and current railroaders are educated at the Norfolk Southern Training Center in McDonough, Georgia. Meanwhile, around 150 miles to the west, Birmingham, Alabama was formed shortly after the Civil War. It was once well known as a steelmaking town, but now it's a banking center. And while many of the blast furnaces are now dormant, the railroads are still very active. Just to the northeast of downtown Birmingham in Irondale, Norfolk Southern operates the sprawling Ernest Norris Yard. Something you might not know is this is where the Southern Railway and later Norfolk Southern maintained the locomotives used in their steam programs, which went from the mid-1960s until the mid-1990s. Excursions were briefly restarted from 2011 to 2015 with the company's 21st Century Steam program. Here's a shot from 2012 of Southern Railway number 630 in the Gulch in downtown Atlanta, a location the Tracks of Hope train will be passing through tonight. And now, it's time for that excursion to begin. As you can see, they've literally rolled out the red carpet for the passengers today. The train will start here in Forest Park and head north about 16 miles to Atlanta. Here they are on the old Central of Georgia, heading north through downtown Hapeville. And here they are one last time in Atlanta's Oakland City neighborhood. As you probably know, a merger with Union Pacific is looming, and it's unclear what Norfolk Southern will look like in the future. But hopefully the rich history of this railroad and its predecessors will live on. So there actually are a couple of former Union Pacific cars in the Norfolk Southern OCS fleet. That includes this sleeper, the Missouri, which was built in 1960. Now this was quite a unique experience. A big thanks to Norfolk Southern for the tour. Anyway, that's it for now. Please consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already, and as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.